Hey everybody, it's Dr. Ryan Bland, and today I want to talk about mold and reactivity to certain environments. Recently, I had a patient come in and they were complaining of all kinds of serious symptoms from gastrointestinal upset, chest pain, heartburn, and chronic sinusitis. Now, this patient was sure that it was coming from foods, and as we took a deeper dive into our exam and other findings, we realized that they were living in a very possibly moldy environment. And he realized that the other people in his home weren't well and weren't feeling the optimal health and wellness they should be feeling. And then he started realizing that his neighbors and his building community weren't faring so well with their health and wellness. And one of his neighbors actually had bleeding in their lungs. So I suggested that this gentleman get a ERMI test, an ERMI, which tests for mold in your home. And what was so interesting is he had over 1,900 spores, and he was well over the legal limit for his home to be a habitable place. So what we realized is he had been exposed to such a heavy amount of mold. Now, we don't realize this, but building sicknesses and moldy homes and other environments can greatly affect our health and wellness. And we can easily identify these issues as something completely wrong because it's something that most of us don't even think about. But what was so amazing is that this gentleman was able to start to take care of himself and bring his family in, and everyone is starting to make their recoveries as time progresses. But what was so interesting to me about the whole thing is that he actually had a neighbor with bleeding in their lungs. This woman had had such an intense irritation in her lungs that she's literally bleeding from the irritation of the toxic pollutant of mold. Now, it's really important to assess your situation and your living conditions. There are some things you can do to make life easier. Well, you should know the humidity of your room, so that's really important. So if your house is above around 40 to 45% has that amount of humidity, that's the area where you can have mold grow. Now, it doesn't have to be an old house. It could be even new construction. As long as you're over 45%, mold can grow. Mold grows in dark, damp, moist climates. So it's really important to realize that, hey, maybe get a dehumidifier in certain spots of your house and run them in your bathrooms regularly. And there's many other things to do, but I always like to hire a professional if I was considering getting the mold removed from my home. You don't want to be exposed to it, and it's best to have a professional with the right kind of protection work on it so you're not exposed and that you don't have to deal with it further. But it was very interesting to see somebody come in and have a symptom thinking it was just coming from food, and it turned out to be this very intense mold problem. So if you're out there and you're concerned, look around your environment. In conclusion, if you're concerned about where you work, where you live, and you think that you may be exposed to mold, don't hesitate to reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out some ways to make it better. Let's figure out some ways we can test to figure out to know how and exactly how much mold you could be exposed to. And then it's all about treating the reactivity. Everybody has a different level of reactivity to mold. Some people are highly allergic and can have very, very serious symptomatology, and other people could be in a room with all the black mold in the world and it might not affect them. So if you're out there and you have questions, I'm here to answer them. I hope you have an amazing day, and this topic helped shine some light on a topic that doesn't have enough information out there. Have a great day.